And I'm going to discuss something that's been very interesting to me, just because of school and stuff like that, where I have to like research into certain pathologies and certain, diseases. And there's a certain very specific condition that involves this guy, or individuals who are from Southeast Asian descent. Now, this doesn't mean that this condition just happens to people who are from Southeast Asian descent, but it just so happens that maybe 95 to 98% of the people who tend to have this condition are from Southeast Asians, even though this condition isn't related to anything nutritional wise, isn't related to anything genetic wise, or related to any other heart disease or any other diseases. Even though the condition comes with an individual who tend to have heart pains maybe a week before or chest pains a week before, and their heart tends to be a little bit thicker, or the muscles aligning the heart are around the chambers of the heart are much thicker and stronger, but there's no Western perspective on why people pass away in their sleep. Okay? So nocturnal death is something that wasn't even prevalent in the United States until 1977, 1978, kind of like a few years right after the Hmong people came to America. So the interesting aspect of this is you think about why this disease or this condition wasn't even a big deal until the 1977s, and the population that falls within that are Southeast Asian descent. So now I have to question myself, why do a lot of people who are Hmong or Cambodian or other people who are from Southeast Asian descent, why do we have this condition called nocturnal death or sudden unexpected death symptoms, and people just pass away in their sleep? And one of them is due to stress.
I want to make it clear to the American people and to all the world that all we want in Laos is peace, not war. A truly neutral government, not a Cold War pawn.
Cho da te o lu chan ma me ha kai pao la ta o mo ti kai in jai ka la ko pu mi nyo kai in jai ka ani no van che hotel la
yo pi chao ro to no sai da yo to ta ro
tên để lúc rõ mong được một trong mong cha u ti đã ca chơi luôn trong lòng chân cú quá nó cũng được xong thì mình rồi lấy trong chơi.
The Lao Communist government essentially declared genocide on the Hmong. They came to every Hmong village that they thought supported the U.S. and slaughter and burn down and rape everyone in that village.
So, from a traditional Chinese medicine's perspective, stress and trauma, which is something that's internal, something that's emotional, it attacks us from the inside out. And that concept doesn't really have a Western's perspective side on it. But you can almost imagine, when you stress and you're scared of something and you have a lot of anxiety and a lot of grief, and you have that for multiple years. For Hmong people, it was about 20 plus years, from 1955 to about 1975-ish, for the Vietnam War, where Hmong people were persecuted, we were killed, we were slaughtered, killed on sight. And then a few years after the war ended in 1975, Hmong people moved to America, and this is kind of where this condition became very popular, because all of a sudden people just started passing away in their sleep. And I believe that that condition has a lot to do with the spirit, the emotional aspect of a human being, and all the stress and trauma that the older generation has acquired over the last 30 something years, going on to however long. So for me, one of the things that I feel can help cure this condition is dancing. Or lifting.
And that's the thing with powerlifting. It can be so unpredictable. If you're consistent, you can find yourself walking away with a medal.
Absolutely. You get 9 for 9, now you're going to be there or thereabouts.
You've given yourself a shot.
Yeah, that's good.
And this
Again.
looks
Or the artistic value of an individual, because the thing about the Hmong culture is, you know, when we come to America, we want our kids and our families to live a better life. And when you think about the career paths that make a lot of money in America, like being a doctor and architecture and stuff like that, it makes sense, right? Because if you got a lot of money, now that you live in America, that's how Hmong people adapt, that's how we survive, and we're just really good at it. Most of us don't even know why we're good at it ourselves, but we know we're gonna survive, and we know our child's gonna live no matter what. You know, that's kind of like the mindset that we have. And this pushes us very heavy towards like being a doctor and things of that nature. But what if the answer to certain diseases, such as nocturnal death, could be cured with exercise, with art, with doing everything that a majority of us who grew up couldn't do? You know, like whenever I think about lifting weights, or whenever I think about dancing, or whenever I think about, you know, activities that involve stuff that loses money versus gain money, you know, it's always been looked down upon. But it also so happens that things that are looked down upon tend to be the things that are going to be the most helpful or the most healthy for us. And just being able to release your emotions, to let people know about your story, you know. And if you don't feel like going to group sessions and talking with people about the way that you feel and about some of your experiences, that's one of the reasons why I love b-boying. I love lifting weights, because you can tell your story. You can tell people about how you're feeling. You can bring all the things that make who you are. Stress, trauma, you know, the negative experiences that you've had, the negative experiences that you were involved with other individuals, and you can literally let that out into the dance floor, let that out onto the weights, and express yourself and draw that energy, draw that negative energy out from your body, so you can become a more healthier individual. Now, if you have never experienced or have friends and family who have gone through such an event, just understand that stress and trauma, emotions, and the kind of things that we think about, the kind of internal stuff, you know, that most people don't really think about, could be killing us more internally than we think when we also think about the physical aspect. If these aspects, the emotional, the physical, the mental, the spiritual, you know, that inner self plays a role, and if Hmong people or other Southeast Asian people are living or dying, then I think that health should be more than just working out. Health should be more than just what you eat. Health should be everything that allows you to become a better person. Health should be everything that allows you to release some of those negative emotions and spirituality that you currently have. Health is about everything that you let in and out. Food, water, friends, family even, acquaintances, career paths, and everything else that involves with you as the individual. Now, the person that we should care about or worry about the most should be us, and the better we take care of ourselves, the better we can take care of our family. the better we take care of our family, the better we can take care of the community. The better we take care of the community, the better we can reach out to other communities. And the more we reach out to other communities, the more we can grow as an individual, the more we can grow into other sports and become more educated in where we currently live right now, instead of assuming that we know everything